Good afternoon, everybody. This is your girl, Christy Revere, the virtual strategist and the founder of Revere Virtual Solutions. I'm here creating everlasting business relationships that are not just responsible, but certified, reliable, and getting results. Are you a business owner in the process of scaling your business? Has your to-do list gotten out of control? You need more than just someone that's responsible on your team to help your business grow. You should let Revere Virtual Solutions handle the hustle and bustle for you. I'm the host tonight for the Revere Power Talks, where business owners and professionals come together here to share their expertise with us. Tonight's Power Talk guest has an amazing story regarding pushing forward. And one day, my guest experienced so many blows that some people would have just ended it, but she didn't allow those moments to define her at all. She took those moments and created the International Center Life Coach Training. Please give a warm welcome for Miss AJ Austin, the Black Master Life Coach Trainer. Hold on. AJ, hey. Welcome to the Revere Podcast. For all of you are in Facebook land and YouTube land watching this live, please be sure to drop your comments in the comments box as we go throughout tonight in our presentation or the conversation. AJ will be more than willing to answer those comments for you. I'm going to now turn it over to her for her to tell us some more about her amazing story and just to give us some information about her and some insight into her and to what she does before we jump into the actual Q&A aspect. So AJ, you take it over.
What's all right? Hey girl, hey, I was sharing it on my Facebook page, which by the way, if you're watching this anywhere other than Facebook, I am Black Master Life Coach Trainer, Coach AJ on Facebook. So join us there. We're having a watch party for today's segment. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation to come and chat all things entrepreneurship, Black women in business, making money, life coaching, and getting certified. I'm founder of the Black Life Coach Quiz. Have y'all heard of that? If not, it's over at blacklifecoachquiz.com. It's also in that, what is this? The third, bottom third, half third. Just look in the little commentary, blacklifecoachquiz.com. It's where I have a chat with you about if you're that girlfriend that everybody calls, because you're such a great listener. You give such great advice. You pray with them. You're so easy to talk to. Girl, it's time to get paid. And we're going to dive into that tonight. I'll tell you how I got started on this journey and what it means for you if you feel like you want to bring in more money as a certified life coach. Not just calling yourself a coach, but you're professionally trained, skilled, and qualified. And I'll tell you how to take that next step as we dive in tonight. I'm ready. You ready? Welcome back. I'm ready. You ready to dive in, girl?
I'm over here playing with all this equipment, trying to be all fancy. Everything. Make sure you get the big screen and pull myself out. Child, then I'm kind of slow. But look, we did do it. That was awesome. Thank you for control. Like I told you, has an amazing story. Buckle up your seat, get your notebook out, make sure you share this with everybody on YouTube, you share it on Facebook so you can get this information, because I'm pretty sure she is going to leave us with a host of nuggets. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it off with my first question. What prompted you to actually start the Boss of Me business?
Let me clear my throat. You ready?
Girl, clear your throat. Get yourself. Take yourself. Now bring it.
So the Boss of Me is my big company. If you go there now, it's my main website. And when you get there, you'll see that it's the umbrella that houses what I call the International Center for Life Coach Training, LLC, by the way. So 2 businesses for the price of one, if you will. But what's over there as well is how I use my skills as a nerdy, small town, low income, former McDonald's employee, and became the online leader for training Black women. It has not been easy here, but if you're that Black woman and you want to learn how to focus on increasing your income by helping others, do 3 things. You ready? Number 1 is set a goal. Number 2 is take action. And number 3 is achieve results. Those are the 3 things that a certified life coach does. But you only know how to do that if you're certified. But most of us are not certified. A lot of us are just calling ourselves certified. I'll tell you the stats that brought me here in just a moment, but I would love to just share a little bit deeper background about how I got here and some of the celebrity pictures that you'll see over at thebossof.me, which is my main site. But I am Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ. I'm a master life coach trainer. I did find the bossof.me plus the International Center for Life Coach Training LLC and something called the Life Coach Self-Study System. Don't worry. When you join me at one of the 2 sites I've already dropped, one is blacklifecoachquiz.com. Start there. I encourage you to. You get a prize for doing that. Or the second is thebossof.me. But I use my bachelor's degree in training and development and my master's in life coaching and my honorary doctorate degree and use that as like a specialization for online life coaching and certification for Black women of faith. Those of you who, again, are trying to figure out what income source is best, what allows you to use those natural gifts to help. But I realize that everybody's not at the top of their mountain yet. Some of us are still in the dip. And my dip was April 14th, 2008. And I found myself at the courthouse in downtown Decatur, Georgia. And I was attending a divorce trial, one that will make a 5-year marriage final. It was my marriage. Girl. So I signed on the dotted line. I made it official. And I remember as I walked down the hallway and headed toward the elevator, I pushed that down button on the elevator, just kind of waiting like, Lord Jesus, let me out of here, right? And when I got inside the elevator and the doors began to close, I remember seeing my now ex-husband for the last time. And at the same time, my phone that was in my purse, it rang. Now, when you're on the elevator, you don't get a really good signal, but I'm glad I took a chance to answer because as I descended down to the lobby floor and answered that cell phone inside the elevator, I said, hello. And it was my cousin calling to tell me that my mom had just passed away. Now, my mom was 47 years old. She was a 15-year business owner. My dad was a business owner. He passed away last year. My grandfathers were business owners. They have all gone to heaven. So I got a lot of ancestors that put this entrepreneurial blood in me, okay? So I like to say I could not run from entrepreneurship if I wanted to. So that's kind of how I got my start. It was not by choice, but several other things kind of led up to this moment that got me here today. And I'm happy to dive more into that, but I want to let you in on the conversation and not just take over everything, right?
Do we have anybody out there in the world that want to drop any comments that's watching us live at this point in time? If you don't, we will move forward in our discussion. That's interesting. That's a lot to take on, AJ, at one time in one day. That's overwhelming.
Just wait till I get into more of the story, girl. We ain't there yet. This is the tip of the iceberg. So I hope you ready.
I ain't no box of tissues with me today. Am I going to need a box of tissues?
Look, I got a whole box here for you. So you ready?
You should have told me, girl, get you a box of Kleenexes and put over there beside you before we get started. Oh, okay. My goodness. Well, we're going to continue on in our conversation as people continue to chime in or whatever they're going to do, regardless of the matter. I'm happy to have you here. I'm happy to learn more about your story. I would like for you to make sure that you share those 3 things that you stated at the beginning, at the top of the conversation. You said set your goals. And what was the other 2? Because I didn't get it. I got caught up and wasn't finished. So you want, in order for us to lead towards our success, the first thing we need to do is always set our goals. The next thing was to write it down or take action.
A lot of people don't know what a coach is. So when they hear the title coach, they instantly think counselor. They instantly think, let me tell you my problems. But that's not what a coach does. A coach does 3 things: help people to set goals, take action, and achieve results.
Okay.
That's what a coach does.
Excellent.
You go over to the blacklifecoachquiz.com. You take the quiz. It's going to see if you meet those 3 qualifications and you want to get paid to do that. That's what I help Black women of faith do. Get paid to help people take set goals, take action, and achieve results.
Cool. Okay. Well, moving forward with that, since you said Black women, let me ask you this. What do you think, or why do you think Black women are the fastest growing in the entrepreneurial space right now?
That's a really
it seems like Black women are literally on fire with running their businesses. I mean, I know several women since I've started my business that are running 2 and 3 businesses at a time.
Right.
And I'm like, girl.
Right, because it's a lot, right? And not only are we the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the United States, but while we see people kind of juggling multiple careers, multiple businesses, home life balance, work life balance, side hustle, grind, entrepreneur, only 70% of that population of Black women entrepreneurs are making more than $25,000. They're making less. 70% of Black women entrepreneurs make less than $25,000 a year in one of their businesses.
Oh my goodness. Do you think that's because they don't have a secure or thought out plan to execute to get the results that they're looking for, the results that they will want within their business?
Well, while we as founders, because we're technically considered founders if we're starting businesses from scratch, we're the fastest growing demographic of entrepreneurs throughout history. And we're smart, we're educated, we have masters and doctorates and certifications in multiple areas, and we're serving in leadership roles. But while we have the capacity to meet some of the world's largest needs with just our minds, Black women are behind a lot of success in this world that we don't get credit for. Also, things like the economic downturn, not having access to resources like mentorship and coaching, and someone to help you write your vision and make it plain. Now, that's from the Bible, okay? So if the Bible, since before our time, is telling us to write things down so that people who read it can run with it and get it and help support our dream and vision, that's kind of that missing link. And that's where I come in, working with Black women of faith, saying, listen, what did God tell you to do? Have you written it down? I literally just got off of a coaching call with one of my coaches having this exact conversation for how long today have you sat with that vision you said God gave you? Was it 5 minutes? Was it 10 minutes? Was it an hour? Now, to tell her business, because you don't know who she is, it had been 30 days since she visited the vision that she said God gave her. Now, if you had a baby, that was just born and they have not been loved on in 30 days, not fed, not nourished, not nurtured, not babysat, not picked up and held, not paid attention to, what do you think would happen to that vision? That's where that unmet gap is. That's where that 70% of Black women making less than $25,000 come from, because we're doing too much. Everything has our attention and we're not focused on that one vision. We haven't written a plan and we're definitely not sticking to it.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was telling a friend of mine yesterday that I noticed I've been journaling since about 2004. Like just whatever thoughts I have, whatever I'm feeling. I've been study journaling. And I remember when I had when I was moving, I had looked through some, how you purge stuff and whatever, and I found a piece of paper 2010 when I wrote my first business idea out, name and all. Like I had the name written out, I had what I wanted to do, and I started on my vision. But I put it down due to life, deployment, work, just in general. I didn't pick that piece of paper, I didn't pick that vision up again until 2019. I didn't fully put it into action until this year. So I definitely understand what you mean by write your vision down, make it plain, and then you develop your action based on it. Because if you, I thoroughly believe, don't write it down, then it's just going to be a thought. Because once you write it down, it makes you accountable to work towards figuring out the steps to make it come to life. But if you don't get it out of here,
okay, get it out of your head, get it onto paper, and get it into action. There go 3 more nuggets for you, okay? Because while we make less than $25,000 a year, the main problem, we think it's, oh, people won't support me, people won't buy from me. No, people don't understand what you do. And so your message is clear. They don't know who you help, how you help them, how long it'll take you to help them, what results you can help a person get, especially our coaches. I'm talking to those who call themselves coaches. Maybe you've even been certified as a coach, but people still don't know what type of coach you are. Or like I just told one of my mentee coaches, you're sounding like everyone else. You haven't sat with that baby since 2010. But I want to congratulate you, though, for getting it out there, because a lot of women that I speak to who say, AJ, I want to become a certified coach. God has put this on my heart to help women. I know I have the vision. I have the leadership skills. I want to get paid. I'm good at it. I've been coaching all my life. People tell me I'm a good listener. They tell me I'm easy to talk to. We also find ourselves doing research. Well, let me go to Google. Let me go to YouTube. Let me see who's doing what, see who I like, who I don't, who vibes with me, how much of a discount I can get on services. So we're looking for the easy way out, not realizing that you reap what you sow and you get what you pay for. So sometimes we have to make a sacrifice and sow those seeds into growing our baby. If it takes $1,000 for you to get to your next level, do what you got to do to come up with $1,000. Because if the latest weave was out, if the latest handbag and shoes, if that's your thing, the latest eyelashes and nails, we're going to look good. So why can't our babies look good, which are our businesses? Why can't we make that sacrifice? Because they're going to feed us to infinity and beyond, depending on how long you plan on being in business.
Right. And not only are they going to feed you now, but if you do it the right way and you plant a seed and you plant a strong seed and you nurture it, what you're doing now will feed your generations after you are no longer here. Because that was my main reason for going into business. I refuse to leave this world without leaving some type of legacy behind for my family to pick up. I wanted to be, my goal is to put myself in a position that when my nephew graduates from high school, if he went to business his own self after seeing his mama and his TT do it, he can have that. He'll have that. Like I'm consciously thinking about it. You plant that seed now, you start having that conversation, you start talking that talk at an early age, because he's on 9. Once he gets 18, he'll have so much already in him that all he has to do is start moving on it. And it's so funny that you said, because like 2 weeks ago, we was having dinner and we were just talking. And something in school, they had to do something in regards to their STEM class, and they had to come up with like a business, what kind of business you would do. So we talking, so I said, well, Cam, what kind of business would you own, or what kind of business you go into if you can go into business? And he was like, TT, I would go into art. I said, okay, cool. I said, well, what would you do in art? He said, I would teach people how to make their art look good. I said, come on with it. Come on with it.
You never know what he's seen. He's seen something in you. He's seen something in whoever else is in his life. And I meet a lot of ladies who say, I do this for my kids. But I have had conversations with those kids, and they're like, I don't want to do what mom does. But they see a little characteristic in something mom does. She shows up every day in her business. She's helping people. She's bringing in money. People know who she is. She's showing up on platforms like this. Even with my mom, she passed away at 47 years old. But to this day, anytime I go home, someone stops me to tell me the impact that my mom and her business had on their life. And my mom has passed away almost 15 years now. So not only is it like what Yukubu said, that's generational wealth. It's what we call legacy leavers. You have 2 categories of people that I work with. The legacy livers, meaning we're setting that precedent for the next generation, and legacy leavers, so that when you're no longer around, people are saying, are you so-and-so's nephew? Because that's what people are going to tell my nephews. They're going to tell my brothers. So I'm with you. You're so-and-so's brother, you're so-and-so's nephew, you're so-and-so's son or daughter. And that speaks volumes for the next generation as well. Because like I mentioned, it's some little nugget that you drop that's inspiring those who will have to take the reins when you're no longer here, but your presence is.
Yeah, because I could say in 2020 alone, I have, just looking at my family, and I had made a post probably 2 months ago, across the board on both sides of my family, both my mama and my dad. If I need someone to do my logos, like right here, which is in perfect designs, logo did this, created my t-shirt, I have somebody for that. If I want somebody to do, see, gotta get that brand. I was like, okay, this is what I want. And he went with it. My cousin like, boom, 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 knock that stuff on out. So I started with that. I have a mechanic in the family. I have several hairstylists. And when I say hair, if I need braids, girl, they be slaying some hair. I be like, since I moved back home to Georgia in 2013, I have not went to someone that I'm not physically related to touch my head. I stay with it in the house. And I was like, dang, I had to give a shout out to my family. I was like, I got fitness trainers out here. I got educators out here. I got people that are creative designers. I got cooks. I'm like, I could throw rocks and hit at least 5 people that I don't have to go nowhere to get nothing done. I'd be like, look, my car making a sign. I call my cousin. Like, can you listen at this? What's wrong with my car? What do I need to do? He'd be like, cuz, okay, you gotta do such and such. I need such and such. I need such. Like, it is in 2020. I have seen my family just blowing. They've been doing these things, but I was really prevalent about it since now. And I don't know if I became more aware of it because I got into that space, or it's just 2020 because we're so shut in. You know, this pandemic got us sitting in the house looking like, what we gonna do? What I'm gonna look at today?
Because at least you got started. At least they got started. A lot of people are stuck with that vision they said God has given them. Like I said, they're still looking into it. It's been months and they still haven't made a decision. They're not any closer to make a decision when they're going to put it out there or put themselves out there. They have excuses about, I don't want to get on Facebook because I don't want so-and-so to find me. Well, child, if you hide and no one will know about a secret. Secrets are well kept if you tell the right people. And so what that also means is if you're not putting yourself out there and activating on that vision, you're well on your way to becoming a part of that statistic of making no money, especially as a Black woman of faith. And guess what? You'll never make the difference you were born to make, especially if you're trying to help others in their life. There's a quote I always wrap up my Facebook Lives with, that there is someone somewhere, they are waiting on you to walk in your destiny. So they can walk into theirs. Because when you let your light shine, you give others permission to do the same. And when you impact one life, that's all it takes. You impact an entire generation. When they teach us women something, we teach others. So it's time. You got to make that decision and move forward anyway.
Yes. Oh, girl, child, let me move to my next question. We ain't got but down to 2, and I got like 6 here. We've been so caught up in everything else. Okay. Woo. I don't know what to do with myself. Okay. What qualities should someone look for when they're looking to when they're seeking a coach to help get them to the next level? What should I look for in a coach that is going to help me, in a coach that's going to be effective at helping me reach my potential and pull out some of the stuff that I'm not quite able to pull up the surface myself? Like I haven't been able to finish it. Like I have it, but it needs that other piece.
Right. Well, so if you're, in that research phase, you're trying to see if you need a coach, do you want to become a coach? It's always effective to experience coaching. I have something called community coaching. I reach out to people who are connected to me on Facebook, who I know would get a breakthrough in working with one of my coaches. And we give them a free session as one of the graduation process ceremonies for, coaches who have trained with me. So that's their last thing that they have to do to prove that they're a coach. So we give you the opportunity to experience a 30-minute coaching session for free. At the time of this recording, we have some coaches that charge $300 for 30 minutes of their time. So to get that in value and so much more that's going to help you set that goal, make a plan, and actually take action on it, it shows you what coaching is. So get experience on what coaching is. And then if you're trying to come into coaching, get a coach who speaks to what you just experienced in that free coaching session. You know, are you someone who likes tough love? Do you need hand holding? What's your learning style? Are you visual? Are you audio? Do you need hands on? You need to touch it and feel it and have it demonstrated, because my course incorporates all of that. So when people start with the blacklifecoachquiz.com, it's blacklifecoachquiz.com. And when you get there, it's going to ask you some questions, but it's going to give you a chance to give me some questions. Ask me what you think you need to know before you choose what your next step will be on the coaching journey. And like I said, I love welcoming Black women into the community at the blacklifecoachquiz.com, because it shows me kind of where their thought process is coming in. We all have areas of our life that can use coaching, that can get us unstuck, because sometimes if we don't have someone believing in us and or with us, then we stay stuck, and that vision could potentially go to the grave with us. And so that's why I've made it my mission to help Black women get paid on those skills of being a good listener, helping people reach goals, asking really good questions, and sitting with them to get clear on what their next steps are going to be. So experience it first, know your style, and then decide what you want your next steps to be, because even coaches need coaching. So say you come get certified, we still recommend that you get a coach. I have several coaches that I paid for the entire year to help me get to my next level. So you never stop in that coaching process. So make sure you have a coach that'll go with you on those parts of your journey and can recommend resources to help you keep elevating.
Oh, awesome. That's cool. That's cool. So we have 2 comments in the chat box from Yakubu Character. His first comment was, "That's right, generational wealth." His second comment was, "Amen." Because you've been preaching, sis. You've been preaching over here. So let me ask you that question, because he is a man. And I know your focus is on us ladies, because we need all the love. You know, it is hard being a Black woman at times. We got so much that we have to carry. Do you ever have any spots open for the Black men out there that are in the coaching field, or that just need a coach, or need something more to help them get their self to the next level as well?
I do. So I'm an expert at being a Black woman. I have been one all my life. I will be one to the day I die. And I have men. AJ, don't forget about us. We need you too. Your information is universal. So I just actually with one of my men coaches. We got his book done in 6 months and less. It was actually out before that. He started making money. He is on his path to his first $25,000 working his coaching business part-time. So if you come to me with a brand as a coach, or you want to be certified as a coach, listen, I have certified 130 coaches around the world. Some of them were Black men as well. So you got to come ready, though. This ain't games. I ain't your friend. I ain't your boo. I ain't your bae. I ain't your wife. I ain't your honey. I'm your coach. So if you're ready to work and make money, amen. And yes, sir. Come on.
Okay. I'm here for it. I love it. All right. Moving on to my next question. What words of wisdom would you like to share with Black boss ladies out there, or those that are looking to get into the coaching industry?
I think it's time to make a decision. So I have this series of ways that I talk about what happened in my life. So I dealt with the death of my mom on the same day that my divorce became final. A couple weeks later, my job downsized. I had also dropped out of school and I was dealing with homelessness. Those are the 5 Ds. All of that got me here to where I can literally look back on last year's numbers and see that I 4x'd my income from the last year. I did that in 5 months this year, because I specifically focused on helping Black women get clear. So what you don't want to do is look up and see someone else doing what you know God has called you to do. It's time to make a decision, because you also don't want that vision to go to the grave with you. And like we've talked about earlier, you have other generations that are looking up to you for the answer. Kids know more than you think they do. And they're watching you. They're following in your footsteps. And they're saying, okay, what is mom doing? What is dad doing? What is auntie doing? How are they building? Why do they always have money? All my nephews know is I show up with snacks and gifts. They don't know where the money comes from yet. They know I have a 2-seater Honda sports car. It's a collector's edition. I get offers on it daily. I was just picking up dinner and someone mentioned, I would love to have your car. It's 2 seats. I have 3 nephews. So one person gets to go, and they love that they get auntie's undivided attention in this cool car and getting all the snacks they want. They don't know where the money comes from, but they see that strategic hustle. I can focus on one at a time. That means focus on one idea. What baby you gonna feed today? What gifts are you gonna get today? How are you gonna allow yourself to let what God has given you allow you to live the life that you know you're called to live, because the next generation is watching. So that's the advice I would give. Make a decision. It's time out for playing and copying and pasting and trying to do what everybody else do. No, God has given you a vision. What you gonna do with it?
You girl, what am I gonna do with you? Okay. So, as being a coach and as being one that works to inspire others, how can I say this? What are some of the ways or tools that you use to inspire yourself and stay motivated? Or what are some of the things that you would suggest that others use to stay inspired and motivated?
So I became a certified
being an entrepreneur. Because being an entrepreneur, a business owner, is some days it's lonely. Some days you have some long hours and some long nights, and you're not able to do all the stuff that you used to do. Like, I wasn't able to look at the Monica and Brandy verses last night because I was working to midnight to get a product to my client. Like, I would have liked to have looked at it with everybody else and still reading all the comments on Facebook, but it was either enjoy that or get this work done.
Well, I did both, and I watched DMX and Snoop Dogg, and I listened instead of watching the show. I was working and jammed at 4 a.m. getting it in. I did both because I'm glad I did, because it took me back to the 90s. It took me back to my generation of music, where I was in my life. And at the end of those 5 hours, I was able to say, thank you, God, for that trip down memory lane. And thank you for how far you brought me. Because songs have different meanings. Just like when you read a scripture or a book at a different time in your life, it's going to bring something else out of you for you to be grateful for. So we're thankful that we don't wear those white sandals anymore, right? They're laughing at Monica for her sandals, girl.
You gonna make me just completely come out like my just mess up my little hair, do everything. I'm trying to cover up a couple of grays over here. You gonna make me fall apart. Girl, those sandals was just I was like, why did anybody let her put them on her feet?
But that helps though. So one of my biggest ways to stay motivated is to see other people in their element. If you can tell, Brandy was in her element. She was gleeful. She had energy. Monica was in her element. She was straight businesswoman. She came flying, ready to handle business. But then when you listen even to the music that they played, the different people that were on their songs, these are artists who were in their element. They said yes to these collaboration opportunities. So if it takes you coming together with someone who has written a book or recorded a podcast or a summit. I see that you're talking about your webinar series, your summit series. You're interviewing speakers and people who are already doing their thing. Ways to stay motivated is to get involved with people who are doing what they've been called to do. And they got the receipts, like 20 years in the music industry, 20 years in the speaking industry. I have 16 books that I've written. I've certified 130 coaches around the world. I'm the largest growing online African-American woman-owned virtual school for Black women life coaches of faith. So find people to attach yourself to, and that'll help that momentum keep going. Because I did, listen, and I wanted to watch. I didn't watch live, but I was on YouTube because I needed to see other people doing what they've been called to do, and then having that history to look back on myself.
As for using and collaborating with other people, because I see so many times on Facebook when people post these comments and they say, oh, you know, network and let's get together and let's work together. But I find that a lot of people think they really understand what the word network and collaboration is. It's not just about dropping your business link and you following each other. This right here, what we have, this is collaboration. I reached out to you and was like, hey, are you willing to come on and talk to my audience? This is where I'm at. I'm building, I'm making myself aware in the space. I'm putting myself out there so people know that I exist. And I can only do that by, I feel like the best way to do that is to collaborate with other people who are already way out there, who already been doing what they doing.
Right.
Because that opened up doors for me in a space that I want to never have the opportunity to come into that space. And then at the same time, bringing you into my space will give you an audience base of some brand new people that may not even know that you existed out there. Or they may be now wanting to be like, you know what, I need to get my life together. She needs to snatch my life together. I need her to get me together, coach. You know, maybe I need a life coach, or maybe you know, it might spark something in them to say, let me get these thoughts, let me get these dreams, let me get these goals out of my head onto some type of paper so I can develop some type of action. So one, I want to thank you tremendously, my queen, for coming on and spending time with us. Before we close out, I want you to, share any of your last comments with the audience, provide them a way to get in contact with you. If you have a offer that you want to provide them, a service, a gift, or whatever, this is your time and opportunity and space to share with them so that they can get their life together. Because I'm pretty sure several people out there, it's a lot of people that need to be snatched. They need it snatched up quickly.
You're hilarious. Thank you, Christy, for this opportunity. I know we're in a mutual Facebook group. Thank you for putting the call out that you're looking for people to pour back into your tribe, because that's important. And I love sharing other opportunities, like I did that today in that same Facebook group that we're a part of, just promoting someone else's event, giving them an opportunity to shine. I had nothing to do with it. I just heard about, an opportunity, and come to find out there were some people who jumped in on the opportunity just because we shared, we collaborated, we lifted each other up. And that's what this virtual opportunity during the quarantine and everything that's going on in this world, it's brought us closer together, even via video platforms. And so I have put together a gift. I've been talking about it this whole time. It's over at blacklifecoachquiz.com. It's in your screen at the bottom somewhere. I see it on mine. Y'all see it on y'all's. If you see Black Life Coach Quiz, type it in the comments real quick, because that's my gift to you. It's a 60-second quiz. It's going to see if coaching speaks to your heart. And you can even tell me, hey, AJ, I ain't ready to become a coach, but I need a coach. And we can add you to that list of community coaching clients that my coaches, when I certify them, they have to train and demonstrate those coaching skills. They'll happily provide you with a free 30-minute life coaching session, but you have to be a part of our community, because I do put the call out there. We have several thousand. I have about 10,000 social media followers. So I share all of that, plus the email list and the coaching community. All of that is over at the it's just blacklifecoachquiz.com. It's 60 seconds. You get to ask me a question about coaching. If you have it, that's there. That's the main way to get in touch with me, because then I can share with you where I am on social media like Instagram and Facebook and all of the other things. But I'm here, and the best way to contact me, blacklifecoachquiz.com.
AJ, thank you for coming on. You are more than welcome to come back to my platform and spend time with us again. You dropped so many nuggets. I absolutely loved all of them. I will be sure to post your contact information in my thread on Facebook once I share this video again, so that anybody in my audience can have an opportunity to reach out to you. So I'm going to close us out. As I said earlier, thank you for coming out, and I hope to see you again. For everybody else, this is your girl, Christy Revere. I'm closing out tonight. We had another powerful speaker dropping many nuggets and great information. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're in need of a virtual strategist, someone that works in the virtual assistant industry, you can reach out to me, contact me on Facebook through reverevirtualsolutions.com. I would love to give you a free 30-minute discovery call to find out what type of issues you have, so we can come up with a strategic plan to solve those problems for you. As I exit, take care. Have a good night. We'll see y'all again next time.